Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Sri Lanka play Bangladesh.
It is a knockout.
Fifth match. It is a knockout game. Yeah, actually, Sri Lanka play Bangladesh. Whoever loses goes out of the tournament. Now, out of Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, whose confidence is dented more?
I'd have to say that, Bangladesh lost, but I thought the way Sri Lanka lost, they lost the game so early. They lost control of the game so early that you have to say, Bangladesh also lost early wickets, but I'd say Sri Lanka is a bit more dented. And I feel actually they would be hurt more because they're a younger side. I think they're potentially a much better side right now than Bangladesh. Bangladesh is just looking a bit over the hill for me. I feel the old generation is just starting to finish their careers. Yeah. Great careers though they have been, Mushfiqur, Shakib, Mahmudullah. And the youngers have not, the junior next generation has not taken over as yet.
They're without the best T20 batsman at the moment in Liton Das.
Exactly.
Clearly their best. He's clearly their best. The one I worried, wasn't it Mohammad Naeem who played against India in those 3 games when
Asia Cup.
When they played the day-night test in Calcutta? There were also 3 T20 games around then. I think it was him who got an 80 odd in one of the games for Bangladesh. There was a young opener from Bangladesh who looked really good. I think it was him, but I'll check quickly.
Yeah.
But I think it was him, and he looked so impressive. But he's stagnated. When I first saw Shamma Sharkar, I thought he was a really good player. He stagnated and never made it. Mahmudullah, they've always played around. Mahmudullah must be the only player of his caliber who was a specialist 6 or 7. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Too low for him.
Yeah. But I'm also just as worried about Sri Lanka because there is so much ability in that Sri Lankan side.
Yeah.
You look at Charith Asalanka, you look at Pathum Nisanka, Kushal Mendes. Kushal Mendes is a serious player who's not become what he should have become. Then it's always too late for Karuna Ratne. Hasaranga is a batsman who in disguise. I don't know what he does. He's such a good batsman, but he only wants to hit every ball for a 6. And Dasun Chanaka requires his time, but they're still struggling a little bit there. There's a lot of young players who are not becoming the batsmen that they can be. You see how much they rely now in the absence of Chamira. How much they rely on 2 players, on Tikshana and on Hasaranga. I think Patirana is going to become a really good bowler, but I don't know if he's ready for it just yet. I saw how Gurbaz went after him the other day. But it's a side that's relying on too few people at the moment.
And can that be a good news, Joy, for Bangladesh now? Because Bangladesh's batting hasn't, in the last game, they just didn't turn up, it seemed like, because they were very slow. The approach seemed outdated. Here, against this attack, can they fancy themselves?
This is a good attack. The Sri Lankan attack is not a bad attack at all. Okay. If you look at it, Hasaranga, they have genuine ability with the ball. Pathirana is difficult to pick up. They're missing a genuine quick. There's no Dushmanta Chamira out there. They're missing those 2 quicks. But the point is, this is not a bad Sri, and especially in these conditions, big ground, they have excellent spinners. Okay, so they're not badly off at all. Even their specialist bowlers, as I said, take pace off the ball. They're very good at that. So it's their batting that has let them down. And what happened in both these cases? Both the teams' batting let them down, and their bowlers just didn't have enough to defend. Yeah, I have a feeling that the Sri Lankan batting probably, if it gets its act together, I think they're a better team at this point in time. Yeah.
Okay, and they're playing on the same track as the India-Hong Kong game, so it's the same track.
So it might hold a little bit because it's very, very hot. So these tracks will become a little drier. And if the ball does grip, it's good for both sides if the ball grips a little bit. But I just think Sri Lanka's spinners have a little bit more. I know Shakib bowled well, Mehdi bowls well. But I just think that if it grips a little bit, Sri Lanka are better off.
If you look at the Bangladesh squad there as well, and if it grips on this pitch in Dubai, would they fancy picking an extra spinner? Perhaps
they already have actually. Musaddiq can bowl.
Musaddiq has, Musaddiq bowled really well.
Yeah, Musaddiq can bowl.
But they also have Naseem Ahmed sitting out. Can they sit out perhaps a Taskin Ahmed and bring in Naseem Ahmed, another spinner? Or does this seem okay right now?
Who do you start the bowling with then?
Saifuddin?
Yeah, there's Saifuddin, there's Mustafizur Rahman, and then you play with 3 frontline spinners.
Okay. Yeah, you can bowl Saifuddin up front. Yeah,
but the truth is that even otherwise, they've got Musaddiq and they've got Mahmudullah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they've
have a lot of options.
What happened to Shabir Rahman?
Shabir Rahman. He's been out for a while now.
Shabir Rahman is another example of someone who you thought is going to become a really good player. Bit of a leg spinner, he was nice, aggressive batsman. Where is Shabir Rahman?
3 years. Hasn't played in 3 years.
So there's a lot of those in Bangladesh, there's a lot of those in Sri Lanka. Both teams will look at themselves and say, have we become the team that we can? If they discover that, I think both teams play to potential. Sri Lanka should win. But we'll wait and see.
You feel the same?
And there's always needle though. There's always needle. Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh. Remember after last time's Asia Cup?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, they'll fight it out. And I think, look, my only thing is that Sri Lanka is a better team on paper for me. Shakib is a really wily old customer. He's come back as captain, and Shakib is perhaps the most polarizing person in Bangladesh cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Either you love him or you hate him.
Yeah.
He's there or he's not there. I think he's probably at the end of what is a fantastic career, towards the end of a fantastic career. So he's smart enough, if he can sort of motivate the team, put it together, and for once say that, this is all it's all about. Bangladesh's problem is there are too many games off the field as well.
Yeah.
And if they can stay on the field and they can focus on the field, they're not that bad a side. Having said that, I still say this Sri Lanka team has a lot of potential. If they sort of work to their potential, this could be a really good team in the next 3 years.